Good morning, folks. Getting started here on 9x12. Oh, by the way, I'm here in Florida on Manasota Key Beach. One of the beaches that we can have access to that hasn't been erased by the hurricanes last year. I'm going to be painting this. It's out of focus right here off the edge of the canvas, but this sable palm, I just kind of like the shape and what may turn out to be some cool cast shadows with the Gulf of Mexico in the background there. This is a 9x12. Oh, and by the way, my color palette is titanium white alkyd, cadmium yellow light. I've went with my more full palette since I'm here in Florida. I'm gonna splurge. Yellow ochre, alizarin crimson permanent, burnt sienna, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue hue, and dioxazine violet. Starting out with burnt sienna just to sketch my idea here. I may focus in, so like trying to create a interesting composition. It's like there's this mass of let the top of the palm go off. I'm just trying to think of shapes. This nice, or be some negative shapes in here with the background be coming through. So at this point, I don't want to even be thinking of details. I'm just looking at the squinting and looking at the shape and this cast shadow going down over here, and then the horizon, which normally I'll establish right off the bat, but the horizon is going to be just above center. Yeah. Okay, I think. Yeah. All right. Next thing is I'm going to get my shadow. I hope I'm set. The sun wasn't quite up when I set up, but I tried to anticipate where the sun was going to be, so I know that my mixing surface is going to be in the light, but my painting surface I want to be out of the direct sunlight. I'm just mixing up a dark here with alizarin crimson permanent, alizarin crimson permanent, ultramarine blue, and burnt sienna. This is going to be the darkest area in here. I'm just scrubbing it in thinly. What I like about these palms is that just that jagged and I'm holding back on the brush, just letting it swing. Okay, that's basically the shape of it. Throwing in a little yellow ochre there to bring down the value a little bit, but not too much. So I'm going to keep this brush that I started with as my dark value brush. Grab another brush here for my lighter values. Clean this area off. It's going to be interesting to see how my cameras stand up to the sun. Not painted on a bright sunny day yet, and where the temperature is going to be like 80. Trying to shoot for the color of the water out there in the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. Right at the horizon, it's always a little bit darker. Oh. Probably you can't see that, but right here I just hit my my camera that's filming the palette with my brush and just smeared it all over the side of it. Oh well. It will survive, I believe. Then there will be a sliver of the beach right here. So I'm kind of, the beach comes up from the water level, I don't know, pretty good little bit. I'm going to wait and cut these negative shapes in later. So I'll keep a clean, because that's kind of going to be the center of interest, is the way that negative shapes in there. Wait, sunglasses just fell off my hat. I'm not wearing sunglasses. Brought them just in case. Now, the sky is going to be lighter and grayer because it's kind of overcast. So using that same pile that I had for the water, I'll just use it for the sky to get started, just to get something. Because, not to beat a dead horse, and the way when I talk about my process is, and I'm not the only one, I mean, almost everybody will tell you, get the canvas covered. Because that's the only way you can judge. It's like some clouds over here, a little darker. So, you know, everything is a relationship. So, gotta get that in there. I don't care that it doesn't look, I mean, we're not shooting for pretty right now. We're shooting for value, structure. Because that's what the painting, as any painting, that's how the information gets conveyed. Light and dark. Okay, now let's do the sand here in the foreground. Strip that out. Leave a little bit of it because it doesn't matter that much. It'll all work together. A little yellow ochre, titanium white. Little dioxazine violet to knock that yellow down. Is it working? Y'all tell me. Do I need to stop? Find something else? No, I'm kidding. Too early in the process here. What, 14 minutes? Try not to let the negative stuff creep in until later. Let's see here. So there is some shadow here, but I don't know that I want it there. So kind of like this strong vertical, and that's, it's gonna be that shadow there. So I'll leave a little bit of cast shadow where these fronds are casting a shadow down. I don't want it going off, just there. So. Trying to find that shadow color. Okay. Let's kind of work on these. I'm just trying to drag my brush loosely over that sky to give the impression of the fronds there. And keep loading my brush up. Sorry I've gone silent. My my painting brain's taken over, not my speaking brain. And my speaking brain ain't that great, so it's just fun to try to figure this out. Are you birds laughing at me? Oh, okay. I hear you. You're judging me too soon. So this kind of, I made like a green, dark green, and then I've been, at like there I just added some alizarin to red, get some red into it. It's like that's a nice bit breaking down across the horizon line there. I'm just using the same brush as I started with, just the two, like what are these, number 6s or something, 4s. I'm just working on the darker sections because then I'll come and add some light. That's kind of the process with the oils, or at least for me. Warm it up a little bit with some cad yellow. I still want it to be dark, so I add a little ultramarine to keep it from getting too. But there's just some cool reflected warm light in here amongst this, because there's a kind of that initial shadowy color that I blocked in with is really leaning purple, and I don't want too much purple in here. There's a lot of warmth now that the sun's up. There's like some that are kind of dipping back down to the ground. That'll kind of make that shadow there make sense, hopefully. Now, if you can hear the bell, that's the bridge over the intercoastal waterway that I crossed over to get here to the beach. They're raising the bridge. Okay. Alright, let's see about putting some light in the foliage there. I'm squinting to look. I mean, technically, I always say the sky is the lightest value usually in the painting, but I don't know whether I want to lose that, even though there are some really light pieces of the bush in there, that palm. I'm using that dioxazine again, even though I used it in the sand. I mean, it's a good neutralizer of that yellow without making it too green or there's just so much haphazard little things going on there. It's so easy to overwork it and lose any good stuff you got going on. Okay. Trying to find a kind of a middle. Gotta get in there and look because my eyeballs in this glaring sun, hard for me to see sometimes in here in these shadows. And I'm not using anything to thin the paint right now. It's just the tube consistency. I would say there's probably a minuscule amount of turpentine in my bristles from earlier. So that's enough to thin it down. Of course, that's going to depend on, brands of paint. Some brands are a little thicker than others. Build this one out a little bit. That's better. What does it need now? How long have we been going here? 34 minutes. Okay. Let's clean this up. So mix the color for the water again. Cut these negative shapes in. See, that's another reason, like the highlights, I may have made too light. We'll see. Because they have to stand out as a highlight, but they can't be lighter value than the water that's going to be peeking through, because then you look at it and it's kind of confusing. What is that? Even though the color of the water, but the value is what's important. Let's see if I can remember what I'm even mixed up there. Which that's going to be too light and too blue. Well, the wrong blue. I think I used yellow ochre. There we go. So let's see. course, now the sun's dipping.
Well, obviously the orange blossom.
Oh, you're fine. I'm looking over this way.
Right.
So you're not going to interrupt
Sorry
me.
about that.
That's all right.
Nice.
Thank you. Okay, my ADD's kicking in. Time to go to something else. Just mixing up a dark again just to reinforce some of these darker areas inside. I want to warm it up too, so
Sure, dude. You should have said something. I would have. I threw in a whole head. You should have said something. I would have. Not bad. Looking good.
thank you.
Pretty good. I like that lady bitch. Yeah.
up right there. Let's see. You can paint back then into the darker spots to build those pointy little frond things. Pointy little frond things. Sure, they love being called that. Oh, dip in the horizon right there. Fix that. Does it look like anything yet? I think I got too many there. Ooh, picked up some dirt there. Not dirt, but a dirty collar. But trying to see if what do I need to work on. Kind of this purpley color in the picking up right there. It's just too light.